You're listening to Leadership Powered by Common Sense with your host, Doug Thorpe. Here's Doug.
Well, hello again, everyone. This is Leadership Powered by Common Sense. I'm your host, Doug Thorpe, and today I've got a special guest that I've been looking forward to talking with for quite some time. He and I have actually, just in full disclosure, we've not done any direct work together, but I've known about him for a number of years through a mutual connection we've got, and it was proof of how this e-commerce world works, how we can meet people that share value with us, and sometimes they don't even know it. But anyway, that said, my guest is a gentleman named Matt McWilliams. Matt, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Doug. Good to be here.
For those of you that are going to be looking on the video here, he's got a tagline in his video frame that says, "The Affiliate Guy," and that's specifically how I got to know him. I was introduced to him through the network that Michael Hyatt has. And if you're not familiar with Michael, he is a he originally called himself the virtual mentor. He was helping business leaders with many things, but specifically he was helping people that wanted to kind of maybe move out of corporate and become thought leaders and authorities. He was helping them set up their messaging platform, write books, create programs, courses, etc. And one dimension of that was this notion of building an affiliate network, and that's where Matt comes into it. But Matt, before we get into the nuts and bolts of that, I always like to ask my guests to give a little bit of backstory on who you are and how you got into this thing you're doing now.
That's funny. The very first line from the original manuscript of my book, we had to change it, but for some, if you've ever tried to put song lyrics in a book, you'll know why we had to change it. It's a pain in the butt to get permission. But it was from the Grateful Dead song called Truckin'. And it was "What a Long, Strange Trip It's Been." Nobody grew up, my day. I didn't get on the internet until I was 16. First time I got on the internet, 27 years ago. I grew up initially with rotary phones. I am old enough to remember only having a rotary phone. And part of me, I heard a comedian talk about this area. Part of me misses that because, man, when you were upset at the end of a conversation,
you just slam that thing.
like today, you wouldn't, boop, and it's just what? Totally different now. You don't get the joy of slamming the phone down. And the old rotary phones, not to get way into that, but you could slam them down. Those things are indestructible. You look at an iPhone wrong and the thing breaks. Yeah. So granted, it holds the computing power of the entire United States military from 25 years ago, but whatever. So I got into this world I grew up, I wanted to be a professional athlete. I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to do all kinds of cool things. I did become a professional athlete. I played golf for a couple of years after college professionally. I played at the University of Tennessee, then, professionally for a few years, but I had an injury that I've still got to this day. I've never got it surgically repaired. And even though they keep telling me I need to, because it still causes pain from time to time. But I quit playing golf and I started teaching these golf schools with my dad. I'm 22, 23 years old. I'm making like $2,000 in a weekend. That's a pretty sweet gig, right? But we'd have, 2-3 students. My dad would split and I would split the money evenly. And I looked at my dad one day, I was like, how many people could we handle? Could we handle 8 students? He's like, 8 students? Yeah, we can handle 8 students. That's 8 people paying $2,000 for a golf school for the weekend. Split 50-50 with my dad. I'm going to work 3 days and make $8,000. At that age, I only have to do that for a few weeks to pay for all my expenses. I still live with my mom,
Right.
And we did. And I got into this online marketing world because I learned how to get people to come to our website, give us a lot of money, and then we taught them golf. The only problem was I hated teaching golf. I had sworn up and down growing up with my friend Hunter, we are not going to be those people who grow up playing golf and then sacrifice our dreams and end up teaching old ladies in purple sweaters how to play golf. That was our thing. Old ladies in purple sweaters. Well, sure enough, 3-4 months into doing these golf schools, I've made a ton of money. I mean, quite frankly, I was 20, not even 23 years old. And I was making almost $250,000 a year from these golf schools. I mean, it was unreal, which is really a bad idea because let's be honest, I spent the money on a lot of stupid stuff.
Right.
But that's beside the point. And sure enough, one of the sweetest ladies I'll ever meet in my entire life, I would have adopted her as my grandmother if my grandmother wasn't still living at the time, showed up, 70-something years old, wearing a lavender sweater. And I took my little 0.2 megapixel flip phone out and I took a picture and sent it to my friend Hunter. And I said, kill me now. Now, if Doug, like a good female friend would have called you up and said, oh, honey, it's okay. You are still a good person. You have so much to be thankful for. I will make a casserole. I will fly across the country to bring it to you. Right. That's a good female friend. Now, a good male friend, what does he say? Haha, sucks to be you. That was the beginning of the end for me. My dad thankfully fired me a few months later, the day after my 23rd birthday, fired me. Here's your birthday present. Also, you don't have a job anymore, and, but I'd fallen in love with marketing. I had fallen in love with, people who were looking for something. They were in pain. They needed a solution to pain. You go, how is that pain, Matt? They're playing bad golf. They don't want to play bad golf. Think about it. If you've ever played a sport recreationally and you just go, I just want to not suck at this anymore. That's pain. I want to beat my friend. That's pain. Now, is it as bad as like clinical depression? Probably not.
Right.
But it's still their level of pain and they want to solve that pain. I mean, like I have wanted to do things like that. No more. Like right now I've got shoulder tendonitis. It's kept me up every night for 2 weeks, Doug. I literally have not slept more than 2 hours in the last 2 weeks. So I went to the doctor and they gave me steroids. I slept through the night last night. That's the solution to pain that I want. And I became enamored with how do I take people who are in pain and get them out of that pain? And how do I convince them that the pain is bad enough that like any typical dude, I waited 2 weeks of not sleeping to finally go see a doctor. How do I convince somebody on day one to go to the doctor? Or how do I convince them on day one to come to our golf school? How do I convince them on day one to subscribe to my email list so they can learn how to get out of pain, to learn how to do affiliate marketing, to learn how to monetize their website or to run an affiliate program or to be a better gardener or to get in better shape, to lose 20 pounds, whatever your thing is. Whatever that pain solution is, how do we do that? That's in 2002, somewhere 2002, I just became infatuated with that. And so for the last 21 years now, that's what I've been doing is helping people to get to that point in all the different ways that we can.
Well, and we are going to get into the specifics of the structure of how you do some of that solutioning, but well, first, let me say this. I am spot on with you, this whole concept. And I've had a lot of marketeers on this show. We've talked about this whole idea of helping business owners when the irony is so many times, and I talk to dozens of them, somebody goes out and starts a business, and if I come in to coach them and kind of help them try to get to the next level, I'm asking them, what do you really want to do? What are you about? What's your vision and mission here? And they can't describe it. They're kind of locked on or stuck with being able to articulate really ultimately what you're saying, that pain point that they're hoping to serve and resolve for people. They struggle with making that connection of defining what that really is. I mean, here they've got a business, they might have a team, they might have a building, they might have equipment, they got a lot going on. But in terms of being able to really grow that and expand it, they can't define what that value proposition is about. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it starts there. I mean, we talk about, in my book, which if you're watching, you see it behind me, in the book, the step one, clarify who you help, clarify your avatar. What are their pain points, right? What are your audience's pain points? What are their values and aspirations? Obviously you need to know their demographics and things like that, but it's really like, ultimately it comes down to like, what are those pain points? What are those, like you have to understand and relate to your avatar's deep-seated pain. So it's that level that's underneath the more obvious visible pains. The obvious visible pain, to use an example, like, okay, if you teach people how to stop smoking, The obvious pain is they don't want to smoke. They don't want to smell like smoke. They don't want to be a social outcast, like it can sometimes be, right? The actual level underneath that is they think poorly of themselves. They're like, I can't break this addiction. I've tried 12 times. I've tried everything else. And I can't do it. I must just be a weak, horrible human being, and that you think, okay, that's a little bit extreme. No, they do. I've talked to many people. My mom, for example, she tried for 25 years before she was finally able to, and her biggest frustration was just that she couldn't do it. She couldn't just do. Why is it that I just can't do this? And so that's that level underneath. The level underneath when you have somebody who's going through a relationship issue and they're headed for divorce, same kind of thing. They know most men, I'll take men for example, that are on the verge of divorce aren't shocked by the fact that this is happening. Occasionally they're, the wife cheated on you and you really didn't do anything. Maybe you weren't perfect, but you didn't deserve that. But most of the time, your wife's been telling you for 10 years, if this doesn't get better, I'm leaving you. And the frustration is really that they just don't believe they can change. So when you get to that level one notch underneath the visible pain in my world is not, well, I want to start an affiliate program or I want to build an online business. The visible pain is, it's been 5 years. My kid's been playing soccer for 5 years and I haven't been to any of his games, or I missed most of his games. I keep not getting it because I have to work all the time. I work a job where I don't get to control my hours. And you look at that and go, okay, on the surface, it's I want to start an online business and work from home. But what's the real thing? I want to be there for my children. Those are different in a sense, and so you're solving really for that underlying pain of time freedom and, financial freedom, not just, I want to start an online business. Nobody just wakes up one day and goes, I just want to start an online business just because I just think it's the coolest thing in the world to have an online business. No, they're doing it because of pain, some sort of a pain. If they love their job and their job gives them all the freedom and they get to, see all their kids' games and they work a reasonable number of hours per week and their work is so fulfilling, they don't want to start an online business.
Right.
Yeah. Why would you? If I wouldn't have wanted to start one 20 years ago. If that was the case.
Who is it? Lori Grenier on Shark Tank that says an entrepreneur is the only person on the planet that'll quit a 40-hour job to get an 80-hour job.
Yeah. It's so true. It is so true. But yeah, I mean, the point there is just really identifying that layer deep, what is like the subcutaneous fat they talk about it, that we have, like, it's that layer deep of those pain points for your audience.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get into a little bit of the nuts and bolts. First,
Sure.
just I'm going to do kind of a 101 exercise. Explain to us what affiliate marketing is really all about.
Yeah. In the simplest core, it's been around for 10,000 years. The ancient Romans were doing affiliate marketing. We just added technology to it about 30 years ago. Here it is. You have a product or I have a product. You bring somebody to me. Now, before technology, Doug, you walked him into my deli and you said, Matt's got the best deli in Rome or in Pennsylvania, whatever. Eat his food. And I said, thanks, Doug. Here's a coupon for a free sandwich. That was my form of payment. That's an affiliate deal. So the same thing is true. You have people that are my people. All of your audience, some of my audience, whatever. When I think of like in the affiliate program world, when we're starting an affiliate program, people come and say, okay, Matt, how do we grow our affiliate program? How do we find affiliates to promote us? And say, ask yourself this question: who's got my audience? Who's already got my audience? Then go get them to be affiliates. People out there like, oh, you've got a parenting audience and I sell a parenting product. Natural relationship. You've got leaders, you've got business owners. I work with business owners, natural affiliate, so ask who's got my audience. Then ask, hey, what does my audience want to buy? What are the things that my audience wants to buy? And so we have an example, we call it the affiliate donut. So if you can picture a donut, the core, that whole, that's your core offers. So I'm just going to use the productivity niche because it's the first thing that came to mind just now. In the productivity niche, you've got things like time management, leadership, health and fitness is a part of, productivity, apps and things like that, focus. Okay, there's a sub segment of like ADHD. What else? Delegation, starting a business, goal setting. I mean, I could go on and on, right? These are all things that are related either directly or tangentially to productivity. Your focus is time management. That is what you help people with. You are not an expert on goal setting. Do you know a few things? Sure. You're not. So what do? You promote Michael Hyatt. That's how we connected, right? You promote his 5 days to your best year ever. It's a goal setting course. Boom. What about health and fitness? You go work with those people. So your core offer is that donut hole. These are the one or two or maybe three things that you are the expert at. But all these other things, the sprinkles and the glaze here, your audience wants to know those things. They want to know leadership. They want to know how to start a business. They want to know how to make more money. They want to know how to set goals, how to get healthier and be more fit, focused. Maybe they have ADHD. Maybe they don't. Maybe they have, maybe they're hyper-focused, and things like that. Maybe they're a workaholic. All these different things. And they need to learn those things. They need to know those things. Your two choices as a leader are as follows. Number one, you say, screw you. I don't cover those things. Leave me alone. Or two, you find people who can serve them. And you do that as an affiliate. At its core, that is simply what affiliate marketing is. You introduce your audience to goods, services, products that will benefit them. And in exchange, the owners of those products share some of the wealth with you and you make money.
Yeah. Yeah. And on one part of that equation, if I am introducing my audience to a provider that serves a solution and solves one of those pain points you were talking about that I don't naturally serve, I'm adding value to my audience by making that introduction and giving them that opportunity to cut the fat and go straight to the solution.
Well, and the great thing about it is like they will now, it comes back to you, it comes back to you. And so when they have a great experience with this other company, that positivity that they project toward that company, some of that juju rubs off on you. And they're like, man, it was Doug that referred them to me. And so there's tons of advantages to affiliate marketing, but the big one is it serves your audience. Right. It fills those gaps. Like I said, if you're not an expert on those, you don't want to be an expert on those. Right. And then how do you serve your audience? How do you could go create products, but do you really want to do that? Like, do you really want to have to go create the products around those things? Because you're not the expert on those. Right. Some of the things, like you get to monetize immediately. For those of you who are just starting off a platform, typically one of two things happens. You either create a product and it's really not that good because you don't know what your audience wants. You don't know what price point they're going to buy it. You don't even know how to market it. You're terrible at marketing. You're terrible at selling because you just haven't done it yet. Or you just give away free content indefinitely. Neither one of those is a good idea. You're not going to sell much doing either one of those. And so affiliate marketing, I say in the book, it bridges the gap between having nothing to sell and selling nothing at all. You don't have anything to sell because you shouldn't create a product on day one. And then number two, you give away, like you have nothing to sell at all. So it bridges that gap. And so you start promoting these affiliate offers and you learn things like you learn what price points work for your audience. You learn kind of how to market. You see what works, like what subject lines get open, what types of emails work best, what types of promos work best, and what is my audience actually buying? Because sometimes, again, to go back to that productivity niche, you might talk about time management and leadership and health and fitness, right? Just to use three examples. And when you talk about like what blog posts are popular, it's the time management and the leadership ones. The health and fitness ones, not so much. But when you look at what people buy, they're clamoring for the health and fitness stuff. And you go, that tells me something. Maybe I should talk more about that because that's what people are buying. Just because they say they want to buy stuff or they're interested or the survey says doesn't necessarily say the same thing as what the reality shows. The
actual reality.
So you get to monetize quickly. You don't have to do the fulfillment or the customer service. This is one of my favorite things about affiliate marketing. Like I can sell stuff and I don't have to do anything. We have tons of products. and I have a whole customer service team that handles all those. Sometimes it's really frustrating, man, I got to spend like 70 grand a year on customer service, and maybe a little bit more. I feel like $100,000 a year on customer service. Isn't it kind of cool to like not have to do that, and just do
right. Right.
And then one of the big things is it teaches you to sell. We call it PTP. You get paid to practice. It's my favorite kind of practice. I get paid to practice. And so you learn how to sell. Like I said earlier, you learn what sales strategies work and what promo methods works and price points and all that. It trains your audience to buy. That's one of the things we see. A lot of people start a platform and it's free content for 9, 10, 12 months. And then when they do finally say, hey, I've got something to buy, people are like, wait, what? You sold out. Why are you trying to make money? I thought this was just a free platform where you just gave away free advice all the time. But if you have affiliate offers from the beginning, like literally in the first month, you weed out some of that riffraff who thinks this is just a freeloader's, paradise. And they go, oh, well, this guy's going to sell stuff from time to time. I don't really want that. So they go off to the wayside. But it trains them to expect periodic offers. And, for some of you, 4 times a year is about as much as you will do. For others, you might do it 20 times a year. But if you don't have products when you're starting out, the only way to interject that and to train your audience to buy and condition them to buy is through affiliate marketing.
Yeah. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs who might be ideal candidates for this affiliate model are locked in on the idea that, no, I've got to generate my own sales. I have to find my own buyers, my own consumers, and that's my focus. So I'm going to spend, X $1,000s on marketing and SEO and my web development and all my bells and whistles to make these things happen. But they're only going to be as good as the penetration they get in a market. But when they turn to an affiliate platform, they are leveraging followings that other people have already developed and maybe way ahead. I heard a guy yesterday quote a number. He said, if you're sitting there doing your business planning and you say to yourself, I want to expand my following to 1 million people in a year. Okay, just picking a number, there are potentially ways you can do that. You can spend thousands and thousands of dollars on your own social media campaigns and efforts to try to attract those followers. Or you could go identify 10 people that already have a following of 100,000.
Yeah.
And make penetration with them. Yep. And, okay, are you going to get 100% penetration? No, but do the math. The point is, it's going to cost you a lot less to penetrate with those 10 people that already have 100,000 followers than it is for you to go organically generate your own million number.
Well, that's the flip side. That's starting an affiliate program.
Yeah.
And people are like, okay, Matt, how do I start an affiliate program? How do I find affiliates? I say, okay, ask yourself this question. Who has my audience? Who already has my audience? There are people out there that already have your audience. And so we mentioned it before. It's like, okay, let's think about the reverse of that. You've got a course on time management. Who's already got your audience? Well, people who have a list of entrepreneurs, many of whom want to learn time management skills. People who have a list of executives. People who have a list of people who are into health and fitness, because what's one of the biggest struggles with getting healthy and fit? Time management. People who have a list of parents. What do they need to do? Manage their time. You think about this, like they already have your audience. So you go out there and get them. Starting an affiliate program, some of the biggest advantages there. Number one, you don't pay for anything until you have, until you make the sale. For most of us, if you're out there, you got $1 million in the bank, no big deal. Go do the social media, go do, all that stuff. Here's the thing about SEO. You're not going to see any results probably for 12 months on average, about a year. You're going to spend an astronomical amount of money. Same thing from social media. That's fine. I'm not saying don't do that, but if you're not in that place, you're the typical person, you've got between, 0 and maybe 50 grand that you could spend. Cool thing about affiliates is they bring in sales, then you pay. And there's usually between a 2-week and a 6-week gap there too, I mean, the second thing is success leads to more success with affiliates. This is one of the coolest things. Like if you go run a successful ad campaign, you run a successful ad campaign. End of story. You got to start from scratch on the next one. If you go get 100 affiliates, we've found typically if we go get 100 affiliates, the ones we work hard for, we go work to get them. It's simple, but it's not easy. You still got to put in the labor to get those affiliates. But if I go work for 100, I'll get another 40 to 50 for free because one, they will tell their friends. Two, other people will see them promoting and they'll go, what's this thing they're promoting? I want to be an affiliate for that. And especially once you get a certain number, you get a little bit of penetration where they might see your promotion 2, 3, 5, 10 times in a week from different people. They want to be affiliates. The third biggest thing is infinitely scalable. Like there are only so many people you can profitably target on Facebook or LinkedIn, profitably being the key word with affiliate marketing, because I go back to that example. I said, people who have a list of parents, you cannot profitably target in a time management course and just go target all parents. But what the affiliate does is they say, hey, parents, hey, so-and-so, do you struggle with time management? If so, I've got something that will help you. You can't profitably target that on Facebook. They can target it to their entire audience. And over time, I'll learn things about my audience. Like they click on these. Okay, don't promote this to them because they never click on any of that stuff. Those types of things. They do all the targeting for you. And it's all profit because, again, they bring in 100 sales. Let's say you sell a $1,000 course. You sell 100 of them. And you do a 50% commission, just hypothetically. But that $100,000 comes into you before you ever pay the $50,000. Newsflash: Zuckerberg takes your money before he runs your ads. Yeah. And none of them are going to be profitable. This is the thing. I run profitable Facebook ads. Like, are you telling me all my stuff should be affiliates? No. We run profitable Facebook ads. We do profitable SEO. But it took us 9 months to get to profitable. For 9 months, I lost an average of $1,000 a week. So what is that? I suppose it's called 36 weeks. I lost about $36,000 on Facebook ads before roughly around that point, I made a couple bucks. Today, we're now in the black. We're well into the black on Facebook ads. We've probably made 6 figures from Facebook ads, but I had to be willing to lose probably $30,000 to $40,000 to get to that point before we started being profitable. Affiliates are profitable from day one. Well, either side that you're doing it on, because if you're promoting something as an affiliate, it's all profit. There's nothing that it doesn't cost you any money. You have no, I had to go get a studio. It cost $10,000 to produce the course, I create a widget, $20,000 for a CAD designer, there's none of that. It's all profit from the moment you start promoting. The flip side is the affiliate program, other than you've got to pay for a tracking software, which usually, to be honest, you can get for $100. So you're going to pay $100 up front. Big deal. Everything else is pure profit from the beginning. And that's the biggest thing I love about it, both ways.
Yeah. So let's talk about the provider side. So let's say I come up with a new course related to my coaching work, and I can identify a network of potential affiliates I want to communicate with. What are some of the basic steps that I'm going to have to go through to turn that on and make it come together and create results?
Yeah. First thing you got to do is, again, ask the question, who's got my audience? So I would go grab it's a free report, mattmcwilliams.com/first100, FIRST100. All right. You'll put that in the show notes for people, Doug. So mattmcwilliams.com/first100. It's a simple report. It's got 15 places where you can find affiliates. All right. Some of them are non-traditional places. One example is like working with nonprofits. So if you've got a brand that does things, I'll give you a great example, holiday cards, things like that. Nonprofits will promote your brand to get the things that they're already going to buy in exchange for a commission, which is a fundraising arm of the company. So we built a roughly $50 million nonprofit affiliate arm for Shutterfly back in the early 2010s. We worked with children's hospitals, PTAs, PTOs, all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to think of some of the other stuff we worked with, different United Ways and stuff like that. And basically they'd say, hey, if you're going to buy holiday cards anyway, click this link, go here, we get 13%. Then we worked with people again, think about who has your audience, who has Shutterfly's audience. If anybody knows what Shutterfly is, it's photo blankets where you get like my mom has so much Shutterfly stuff. It's frightening. Like with all of our kids' faces on them, blankets, pillows, wall prints. Okay. So who'd be a good fit for that, Doug? Who'd be a great fit to promote something that has to do with photography? Maybe photographers?
Right.
How about for one of the arms of Shutterfly, Wedding Paper Divas, wedding photographers to promote the save the date things, to promote the invitations, all those things? We would have wedding photographers that would, literally do $1,000 orders, 3 times the same clientele, because you got the save the date thing, then you got the invitation, then you got the thank yous, like $3,000 per client. Then you've got the regular photographers, just, people who do your kids' photos or family photos and stuff like that. And then they're coming on and they're ordering a wall print and a blanket and Christmas cards and all these things. So we built, I don't even know what it was, well into 9 figures on that, just from photographers and wedding photographers. So again, who has your audience? That's the place to start. And you go out and you start developing those relationships. It started with one relationship, the Children's Hospital of Atlanta. Children's Hospital, or no, it's the not the Children's Hospital of Atlanta. I can't remember. They're in Atlanta and they're an organization. They work with people who do cleft palates. Eventually we got the Children's Hospital of Atlanta, but initially it was they literally just do cleft palate stuff in it, and they're based in Atlanta. Nonprofit. We got them. That was the very first one. And then we got a few more. And again, they started talking, and then they started talking, and then we went out, we got a handful of PTAs, and they started talking, and it just grew. And it got to the point where it was like, if you had a nonprofit, you had to sign up with Shutterfly. And then we went out from there. We were like, okay, who else has our audience? Mommy bloggers. They hate to be called that, but mommy bloggers, that's what most people know them as. And we went out, we actively recruited a couple hundred mommy bloggers, and we reached that saturation point. I remember it because we would have these coupon codes, and we released these coupon codes to the affiliates, and 100 people would blog about them in like that day, right? It was 100. You think, that's amazing. 100 people in the same day. A few years later, we're talking 5,000 in a day, because it got to the point where once we hit that tipping point, and it seemed like enough people were promoting us, that it got to the point where the snowball began rolling down the hill and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was like, okay, if you want to start a mommy blog, step 1, register your domain. Step 2, set up WordPress. Step 3, sign up with the Shutterfly affiliate program. And that's what you want to be able to do, is like become so ubiquitous within a niche that it's like everybody wants to sign up for your affiliate program. That's the starting point. It starts with that one affiliate who's already got your audience. You convince them to promote you. They have a little bit of success. They make some good money. Okay, now you've got your case study. Now you can go to the next one, and the next one. But grab that report and it'll walk you through. It's got some email templates in there that you can use because the biggest thing is just recruiting the affiliates. Like, what do you say to the affiliate? Right. How do we reach out to them? And it's got those. So download that. That's a good starting point.
Good. And again, folks, we'll have that link in the show notes here that Matt mentioned. And that's that leap forward to get your first 100 potential affiliates and really prime the pump and get these whole networks going. The 100 things going through my mind right now, but the kind of the fulfillment side, it's all on the original provider, right? Yeah, I want to reinforce that. You said it a minute ago. Yeah. If you are the affiliate partner, you're not doing anything. You're just basically messaging your audience and allowing the original provider to do all the fulfillment, all the money changing, all the stuff that's got to happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of it. You really have to do nothing. And again, a lot of people are like, well, when you're starting out, I only got like 100 people on my list or 200 people. Like, can I do this? Absolutely. Like, that's the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. That's a Chinese proverb, right? We've all heard it. The second best time is right now. So the best time to start affiliate marketing is like from day one. You got a small audience. Almost nobody's paying attention to you. This thing I found, like some people say you got to have X followers. You got to do this for Y number of years. They can't even agree on what X and Y are.
Yeah.
You got to do this. You got to wait to have 1,000 people. Wait to have 5,000 people. No, wait 2 years, 1 year, 6 months. Can you even agree on that? No. Here's the thing. You start on day one. I mean, they just opened up a new store down the street from us. Guess what? They sold stuff on day one. That's how businesses operate. Now, am I suggesting that the moment they come to your site that you have to immediately go buy this? No, but have stuff available. Promote some affiliate stuff within the first few weeks. You only have 200 people on your list, 100 followers, whatever. Are you going to make $10,000? Probably not. But could you make $100? Could you convince one person out of your 100 to buy this thing that costs $200 and you make a 40% commission, so you make $80? Absolutely. The psychological difference, the mindset difference between making $0 and $80 in your first month is astronomical. How you view making money from your passion, from your platform, is what determines how much you make and how much of an impact you can have. And so many people preach that you should give, like content without ever asking for a financial transaction. But that's what sets you up for burnout when you're starting off. And I know, because I've been there, like you will burn out. You will just want to quit because you're not making money. You start to view yourself not as a business owner, but just like a benevolent content creator, right? And so, I mean, I want you to give away free content. Like we'll give away 340 hours of free content this year in the form of blog posts, podcasts, and whatnot. You don't have to give away that much, but I'm just saying, like, creating value for free is a great way to attract followers, right? But I want people to be in that money-making mindset from day one. And so, that's what you want when you're starting out. So we start promoting those affiliate offers, even if we make only $20 a week. I tell you the difference between $20 a week and $0 a week, not only mathematically, because how much greater is 20 than 0? It's infinite is the answer. Just for the record, but mentally it's infinite. Because if you make $20 a week or even $50 in your first month, it's so much easier to go to 500 in your second month and 1,000 after that. And then you begin to see the value in subscribers versus just, wow, I grew to 1,000 subscribers and I'm making no money. Like, imagine that. When part of it is, and my wife is so supportive of me in business, and she was from the beginning. And when I was struggling to monetize, she supported me. But it's a different conversation when I go to my wife and I say, I made $588 this month from affiliate marketing. Let's go out to dinner. Then when I go, wow, I got 2,000 subscribers. Well, what'd you make from that? Well, nothing yet, but I promise it's going to eventually, materialize. No, it's not. So monetize from day one, immediately.
The other thing that I'm often shocked when I actually have this discussion with somebody, I'll talk to a business owner and I'll ask him if he's ever thought about leveraging affiliation networks to, expand the revenue. And they'll go, well, okay, talk to me about it. And we'll start talking. And then they'll say, well, how much of a revenue split do I have to do? And I said, well, depending on the product, it could be 40%, maybe even 50%. And they'll go, oh, 50%, you got to be kidding me. And I'm like, yeah, but wait a minute. We're talking 0 otherwise. You didn't have that sale.
Yeah, and it's incremental. Like this thing about, like, if you create a course and you go, well, I spent $10,000 in a studio and I spent 100 hours to create the course. You did that whether you make 1 sale or 1,000 sales. Your incremental costs for selling a course are basically 0. Now, if you've got a physical product that sells for $100 and you have $56 in cost of goods, physical product commissions are typically between 5 and 20%. So Shutterfly that I mentioned before, 10%. We gave 13% to nonprofits. They got an extra 3%. That was a way of attracting them.
Yeah.
So just so you know, it's not like always like that. Coaching, you go, well, coaching, yes, you do have incremental costs, because I'm getting ready to do a coaching call right after this call. Like, I'm going to spend an hour with a person. That's an incremental cost of my time. So on our coaching program, we don't pay a 40% commission like we do on our course products. That'd be ridiculous. But you're totally right. As an affiliate program owner, you go, wow, 40%. That's so what are you paying for a Facebook ad?
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, it's only $10 a click. Okay. Do the math. $10 a click. You convert 25%, $40 into attending your webinar. So $40 to get them on your webinar. What percentage of the people who register for the webinar do you convert into? Oh, about 10%. I'm spending $400 to acquire $1,000 customer. That's what you'd spend with an affiliate referral. But here's the thing. Affiliate referrals actually convert the highest of any form of traffic. Reason being, you're getting a third-party referral. So I'm saying nice things about you. So that's why no other form of traffic converts as highly from click to lead and lead to sale as affiliate traffic does. So the reality is, if you spend, $500 to acquire a customer on Facebook, you're probably going to spend anywhere from 50 to 60% as much to acquire that same customer through affiliate, through having an affiliate program. And that's just, it just converts better. And so, and again, you pay it afterwards. So it's one of those things, like people are like, yeah, I could give up 40%. Yeah. I would much rather make 60% of something than 100% of nothing.
That's right.
What kind of a mindset is that? I don't know how else to explain it. I know like somebody's thinking that right now, and I'm just going to say, I'm going to be blunt. That's a dumb way to think.
Yeah.
You'd rather make 100% of nothing than 60% of something, or 70% of something, or 20. Sometimes we'll do contests like this month with our affiliate program, our own affiliate program. We could make as little as 30. I'll go low. We can make as little as 35% from our sales, because we're running a contest to really get some affiliates engaged on one of our particular promos that's a little on the slow side. We had our best affiliate promo ever last month. This one not going as great. So I'm like, let's do this, let's do that. And I'm only going to make 35%. And it's like, well, why would you do that? Because number one, I'd rather make 35% of something. That's number one. I'd rather make 35% of $100,000 than 60%, which would be the normal amount we would make of $50,000. You go, that's basically about the same amount of money. Yeah, just about. But it's more customers. Buyer is a buyer is a buyer. So I've got more people who are going to buy things down the road, who are going to sell to other things. That's number one. And number two, I've got my affiliates excited. And I know that if they promote this one and the promotion goes well, they'll promote the next one and the next one and the next one and the next one and the next one. And they'll promote us down the road. But I need that juice to get them energized. And so I'm willing to make a lot less money in the short term to play the long game.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Matt, I know we could go on and on about this, but for the sake of time here, we're going to kind of put a bow on it. So you mentioned the link, or is there any other contact info people ought to know about to get a hold of you if they want to know more?
Yeah, if you want to get started with affiliate marketing, you go to mattmcwilliams.com/quick start. We've got our quick start guide to getting started with affiliate marketing. It'll walk you through all the steps, the 5 steps to get started, how to get accepted into the affiliate programs, how to start promoting those affiliate programs. So that's your first place. If you want to learn how to grow an affiliate program, because we talked about that, I mentioned mattmcwilliams.com/first100, FIRST100, and that'll help you get started with, growing an affiliate program. And if you're like really, really early on and you don't even have a platform yet, you're like, Matt, how do I come up with what my topic's going to be about? Like, who's my avatar? We talked a little bit about avatars and, who's my avatar? How do I get started getting a message out there and creating an impact? How do I grow an email list and all that? Go check out my book. You can grab it in stores. You go to any Barnes and Noble. It's, except for the one that's like closest to our house, there's none there. I don't know why. I promise it's not because I bought them. Actually, they just keep selling out the one closest to my house. But pretty much every other Barnes and Noble in the United States, it's on Amazon. But the best place to get it is going to be passionsintoprofitsbook.com/Doug Thorpe. The reason I say to go there, so passionsintoprofitsbook.com/Doug Thorpe. When you go there, it's going to redirect to a link, and that's going to give you the option to get a bunch of bonuses. We got almost $600 in extra bonuses there. So when you buy it in stores, you buy it directly through Amazon, you don't get those. But if you go through that link, there are some opportunities there to get a bunch of extra bonuses completely for free. So those are for your listeners, Doug. Just make sure you go there. So I know you'll put that in the link. So I broke every rule of marketing. I have like 3 calls to actions. Don't ever do that in marketing, guys. Unless Doug says, hey, unless we talk about 3 different things, and there you go.
Well, I really appreciate it, Matt. And as always, folks, we're going to have those links in the show notes. So do not ignore the notes. here on YouTube and also on your streaming service, your notes for the show. We'll have all those links there. And one last time, Matt, thanks a bunch, man, for sitting in. I knew this was going to be rich. I knew it was good. I knew you liked to share a lot, and you did. And way over the top. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Doug. Thanks for having me.
All right. And with that, folks, we're going to put a bow on this and wrap it up for you. Thank you for spending your time with us. I hope it was helpful. And if you've got any questions or comments, feedback, drop me a line anywhere on any of my social media channels. I'm all over the place with it. So we'll take a look and we'll certainly pack that into a new episode down the road. But with that, we're going to say goodbye. Take care and have a great day.
You've been listening to Leadership Powered by Common Sense, hosted by Doug Thorpe. If you would like to know more about the coaching and advisory services he provides, visit dougthorpe.com.